Hey everyone, Mike here. I just recently got Discover Lands Unknown, the latest game from Fantasy Flight that is a unique game, so my copy is apparently different from anybody else's. And I'm going to play through the first of 4 cooperative or solo scenarios. There's one competitive scenario as well. I'm going to play through the first one, and this one I've already played twice. I lost the first time and won the second time, because I'd like to see if the scenarios have good replay value or not. I haven't gotten a good sense of that yet. And then I think I'll at least do Scenario 2 for people to look at on the channel. And if the videos are received well, maybe I'll even go through all the way to 3 and 4. But we'll definitely do at least 1 and 2. We start out with a little flavor text, which I'll read. Bird song wakes you, and at first you stretch and yawn, almost comfortable. The soft moss beneath you makes a fine bed, but as you straighten up, a cool breeze brushes past you with the promise of colder weather to come. Uh-oh. Where are you? Snow-clad peaks surround you on every side, bright and sharp in the morning sun. You stand at the bottom of a bowl-shaped valley, rolling green grass and clumps of hardy pine and spruce trees everywhere. It's beautiful but cold, and aside from a few buildings so old the trees grow right through them, you don't see any obvious signs of shelter. How did you get here? You search your memory and find nothing. You could be 12 miles from the nearest city or 1,000. You have no idea. There's certainly no way out climbing those forbidding cliffs. A single snowflake blows past on the breeze. Wherever you are, you will certainly not survive a winter here. Okay, with that little story out of the way, we're going to look at the actual scenario, which is called Genesis. And it's got 2 cards, but we look at only stage 1 for now. Okay, so July 1975. Carefully searching your new campsite, you find a letter pinned to a nearby tree, just waiting for you to find and read it. How much longer can I survive in the forsaken land? I have a plan for escape. Taking my supplies and heading out tomorrow. Emmanuel Dixon. There's someone else here and he has a plan for escape. The letter is dated only 2 days ago. If you hurry, you may be able to find Dixon and escape with him. So, and then we have my actual objective. After a survivor investigates landmark number 4, advance to stage 2, the second card. So I don't know exactly how to escape at the beginning of the scenario, but more will be revealed as I play. To kind of show you the setup of the game I did beforehand, this is the valley setup. So I got one of 6 terrain types in the game for the first 2 scenarios, and there's another Badlands terrain type I haven't played with for scenarios 3 and 4. But this is how this map would always be set up. And there's a couple tiles down here and up there you can't really see. So I'll always start in the middle, and this will be the same for Scenario 2 once I get to it. It's a little hard to see, but I've got numbers on each of these tiles. 1s, 2s, 3s, and then 4s at the bottom and the top. So I shuffle those, and those are randomized, so the map will be different every time, but the 1s will always be beside me. The 4s will always be the furthest out. So there is some consistency to like what I'll find and how far away. Little red dude over here on a fire, which has a lot of benefits and can also let me cook meat. I've got this space with a binocular near me, which I can't use yet, and the terrain is mostly flat. We'll get to all that when we show how to play. In terms of other materials I start with, I have this little stamina tracker, and I start with 12 stamina in the game. That's the highest you can go, and as you basically perform actions, it goes down, and you can stop whenever you want on a turn, but go all the way down to 0 if you want to, and you'll get some back every turn. This is my life and my damage tracking. I start on the heart for everything, but if I take damage from dehydration, I go to the water, starvation, sickness, and the worst one is from combat damage, which can't be healed no matter what. The rest can be healed if you have the right item. If all 3 of these are damaged and I get damaged again, I die. So if I take 4 damage, I'm out. I'll start with 1 cooked food. Meat's on the other side, but that's not as good, so I have food. And 1 clean water. There is also dirty water you have to worry about sometimes. So I have a little bit of food and a little bit of water to start out. In a solo game, I get to draw 4 characters and decide which one I want to be. So let's look at each one in turn. Okay, so I've got Harmony Morello. For 1 stamina, that's what that little symbol is. Move 4 spaces toward the nearest lit fire, then end your turn. That's pretty cool if I can get some extra fires put down. She'll let me move really quickly. Ethan Hansen, a mobster. For 1 stamina, choose an item owned by a survivor in your space. That survivor may give you that item to gain 2 stamina. Otherwise, I can try to hurt them. Oh, so that's only really for multiplayer games. So certainly not choosing him. Then I've got Gertrude Gleason, gardener. After you move into a space with a face-down wood feature token, you may discard it to gain 1 food. Wow, that's really good, because as you'll see, food is pretty important, more important than wood. Then finally, Eliana Moreno Rojas, police officer. During combat, you may turn a die to the value showing on the other die once per combat. Oh, that's really good, too. That helps you fight really well. So I'm going to pick the gardener. Have a lot more food than I normally would. So let's see what her little flavor text says. Plants are better conversationalists than most people. Well, since I'm playing a solo game, I guess it's nice that I have the isolationist gardener as my character. Final part of setup we need to do is I start with some project cards that'll basically let me use resources to make items. In a solo game, you start with 3 of them. And these are always the same in every game I play, which might be a little bit worrying for replay value later. So let's see, I've got, for 1 wood, I can build a wooden staff, a weapon. For 1 animal skin, I can build a water pouch, a container, so that'll let me... Basically, I have 10 maximum carrying capacity of items and tokens, like the water and the meat that I start with. A water pouch will carry extra water for me. Then finally, a trap, which is a defense. 2 stone will let me build that. So, as I get some resources, we'll see how that helps me out. Okay, so let's talk a bit about how the game is actually played. As I said, I have this 12 stamina, and there's a variety of actions I can take in the game, most of which just cost 1 stamina, and again, I get to spend as much as I want, and then I can stop whenever I want and save some for next turn. So moving 1 space costs a stamina, unless I'm going to hills like this one, and that costs 2. And by the way, these binoculars don't do anything until the scenario tells me they do, so they're not anything special right now. If I'm adjacent to a face-down tile, I can spend 1 stamina to scout it. And then you'll see there's like lots of tokens I can pick up. I can move into somebody to fight them for an action. I can craft one of my projects if I have the correct resources for 1 stamina. So it's all pretty straightforward. Alright, so right now I need to find landmark number 4. So landmarks will show up on these cards and they'll have numbers, and I need to find that. But of course I also want to find some resources to build some things to defend myself with, find sources of water and food, all that good stuff. So I'm going to spend 1 stamina to move here, 1 stamina to scout, and I got hills right in front of me, that's great. So you'll see that when you scout things, this by the way again is scenario dependent, so that shovel doesn't mean anything yet. When you scout, you'll often get these little resource tokens. And there's a bunch of them, so I randomize which one, and it's face down, which again provides some replay in the game. So usually that'll give me stone, but it could have some other benefit as well. Or it could even give me like a special encounter. Okay, so that was 2 stamina. I'm down to 10. I'm going to spend another 1 to scout this 2 here. Just giving you a better view, this is a nice one to have scouted. So I've got some more stone there, and with 2 stone I can build a trap. And then what's really nice is I get a water source. Well, probably a water source. So we've got 3 of these little water pump tokens. 2 of them have water underneath. The other one has, I forget what it is, I think poison. So if I can get to that, it'll give me a renewable source of water, which is excellent because I only have 1, and there's a good chance I'll be losing it pretty frequently. So that's down to 9 stamina. And let's see, let's move up towards this stuff. So 8 to move up to there. And I'll go ahead and scout while I'm right here. That brings me down to 7. Let's see what we have on this one. Oh, we've got wood, which could use my power to get free food. Although, unfortunately, it's super far away, so I don't know if I'll be going over there. I've got a paw. So just to explain this, paws are animals, and they are usually animals that can't hurt you, but that can give you, like, pelts, which would let me build my water pouch, and also meat that I can cook into food if I'm at a fire, so you can't eat meat by itself. But sometimes I'm assuming that there also might be dangerous animals in there. I don't think I've seen one in my plays so far. Okay, so that takes me down to 7. So, I guess I'm going to move into the stone. So, it's important to note, and there's a nice thing, when you move, you get a free gather action, which means I get to flip this up and take it right away. So that's a bonus in addition to moving. Oh! Jeez, okay. I'm getting a special event right away. So, these numbers correspond to this exploration deck. And you'll notice these are all in order, so you don't shuffle these, because cards will tell you when to get them. You never, like, draw a card at random from here. So I got a 33, and let's see what it ends up being. Saltpeter deposit. Someone has been extracting and grinding saltpeter and sulfur here. With a little charcoal, you can make gunpowder. Okay, so I leave the token in this space. I may spend 1 wood and discard the token to place 3 counters on an ammo item. Well, if I find a gun, that sounds really cool, but otherwise it's pretty useless to me. I kind of wish I'd gotten stone instead. Okay, so I've got 6 stamina left. I could either go over to those animals, but I don't have any weapons right now, so there's a pretty good chance that I would just waste the move and be kind of out of position. Or I can go towards that water, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 1, 2... Now, I will note that this doesn't look like a special terrain. There is like a mountain terrain that costs 3 movement to move into, but it doesn't look like that. It looks a little bit different, so I'm actually not honestly sure whether or not that's supposed to cost me extra movement. But for now, I'm playing it, it's costing me 1. Nice. So this is a source of clean water forever. Every stamina I spend there will get me 1 water. So I've got 4 stamina left. I think I'm tempted to just, I'm just going to take it all as water, because that way I don't have to come back here very soon. So I get 4 water to go along with the 1 water I already had and the 1 meat I have, which brings me up to 6 resources and no items, so not close to my little maximum of 10 yet, so doing pretty well. And that's going to end my day phase. The game progresses in day and night phases. And what happens now is I draw a night card. Now you always start with these 4 kind of basic, nicer night cards on top of the deck, and then you get to these 6 worse night cards. So your first 4 nights are a little bit easier for you, and then you're going to keep on going through these, and whenever I reshuffle these, I just shuffle the red ones. So the blue ones never come back, except for the first turns of the game. So let's see what we get. So they all have the same sort of structure, and they tend to have the same-ish stuff. So first, thirst. So usually these cards will either make you spend 1 water or 1 food, and you're never sure which. So I must either spend 1 water or suffer 1 dehydration damage. Well, that's easy. Got a ton of water. Get rid of that. Sleep. I get 8 stamina back. And it's worth noting again that 12 is the max. So if I had ended my turn with 5, I would have just gone to 12 and wasted some. So you usually want to spend most of your stamina. Okay, Rock Slide. You get a lot of cards like this that will replenish features. Okay, place a stone feature token from the supply on each space with a stone icon and no feature token. So I did find a stone feature, but there's still an icon there because the saltpeter's waiting there, so I don't get to replenish it. And then finally, Patrol. Move each monster token 2 spaces toward the nearest survivor. Oh, crud. If there are no monster tokens on the map, spawn 1 monster at the lowest numbered landmark. Ooh, that worked out great for me. There are no landmarks. I haven't found any yet. Again, they would be on the board and would have a number with them. So that card did not hurt me at all, except for spending the water. That was pretty great. I'm really happy about that. So we go into my next day phase, and I've got 8 stamina to spend. I got 4 water, so I don't think I need to get more of that. Let's move up and explore. So 1 to get there. Leave me with 7. I'll go ahead and scout the 3 first. Let's readjust the camera a little. Okay, so just to note, this is what a landmark looks like. So it has a 14 on there. If I go to that space and then spend another stamina to actually explore it, I draw exploration card 14 and see what happens. But the one I'm looking for to win the scenario is 4, so that's not necessarily good for me or not. Okay, so I've got 6 stamina left. I'm going to scout again, the 2 next to me. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we get a food resource. These are berries in this scenario. So if I go over there, I might get some food and some more wood. But unfortunately, again, way out of my way. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get over there. Okay, so I've got 5 stamina left. Now my question is, I've not found 4 yet. So I could go up towards here. Use a lot of stamina up, though, because that's 2 to climb up the hill and then another 1 to explore it. But hey, might be really useful. I could go out of my way to try to get the animals, but I still have 1 food and no weapon to actually fight them with. I can go all the way over here to get a wood or use my power to get a food, and I could also build a wooden staff. I think I'm going to try the landmark. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, because again, hills cost extra, so I'm down to 2 stamina, and then 1 more to explore it, and let's see what it gives me. Okay, standing stones. The stones stand on end, each about as tall as a person. The sullen sun casts long shadows like spears of darkness. Oh, and I'm just going to another card. Exploration card 15. Map rubbing. Upgrade. So upgrades, it's important to note, they don't take up space in my inventory. They just stay next to the board. And the interesting thing is that any player, if we were playing in a multiplayer game, could take advantage of the upgrade. Okay, take up a rubbing of a map carved into the rock. If experience has taught you anything, something is hidden near the X. Okay, so for 1 stamina, if I'm in a space with a... what is that? Little flashlight icon. Remove this card from the game and explore. Resolve exploration card number 18. Oh, cool. Never seen this before. So, I've not found the flashlight icon yet, but that's just going to hang out, and if I eventually do, then I guess I'll get something special. So I've got 1 stamina left, but I'm not going to spend it. It doesn't seem like there's much reason to. So let's go on to my next night phase. This time we've got hunger. So I do have 1 food, but that leaves me with no food, so I want to try to get some of that soon. Only light sleep, so I gain 7 stamina. I'm back up to 8. And eventful night. If I'm not at a fire, I draw a threat card. And it's worth noting, there are a lot of cards like this that give you a penalty if you're not at a fire. So, unfortunately I don't have any way to get fire right now, but it is a good thing to try to be at fire whenever possible. So threat cards are actually shuffled, so this is entirely random. I'm going to draw 1 of them. Okay, the woofing and pawing of a great bruin passes through your camp, helping itself to anything stored here. Okay, I discard 1 berry, 1 food, 1 meat. Well, luckily enough for me, I don't have any food, so I'm starving as much as I guess that bear is. So that card didn't actually hurt me at all, thank God. Okay, we're going into my 3rd day. I've got 8 stamina. I have the standing stones explored. And I'm going to keep on pushing forward because hopefully the 4th landmark that I need to find to progress the quest is going to be up here somewhere. And I'd love to find a source of meat that's not so far away or so tough to defeat without a weapon. So I'll spend 1, bring me down to 7 to go here. I'll scout the 3. Okay, now we've got... Oh, nice. I've got wood right next to me. So the question is, am I going to get it for the wood or am I going to use my gardener's power to get some food? I got some more stone, and I have an actual source of probably food over here. Okay, so I've got 7 stamina left. I'm definitely going to scout the 4 first, and then I got to figure out what to do with that wood. Ooh! Oh, this is lucky. The very first 4 I got is the one that progresses the quest, the one with the 4. So there's a cave that I have to get to. And additionally, it looks like there are some animals over here. And some more stone over here. Alright. So I've got, let's see. I had 8 stamina, so I've got 5 left. I moved and I scouted twice. So I definitely want to get to that cave, because that's going to actually tell me what to do next. But additionally, I got to figure out this wood. So again, my character, if I move into that space, instead of taking this at all, I can just get rid of it and get a food. And I am out of food right now, so part of me says I should do that. But on the other hand, I've got a wooden staff I can build, which is a weapon. So it's going to help me get food potentially from all these animals hanging around. And additionally, whenever I build one of these project cards, then I get a new one. And right now I don't have anything to like build a fire or some other useful skills. So I think I might get the wood, build the wooden staff, and then try to get food in another way later. So I'm going to go down to 4 stamina. I'm going to move in here, and I'm going to pick it up, and hopefully it actually is wood. Oh, God. Well, I'm regretting my choice now. So I got 1 stone. I thought there was wood there. There was not. I guess I'll go and scout this. Bring myself down to 3 stamina. I at least want to know what's here. Oh, there's more animals right next to me. Might as well try to get them and see if I get lucky. Another water source. And more stone up there. If I can get another stone, I can get a trap, which actually sounds like it would be great against animals, potentially. So, got 3 stamina left. If I move in here, I'll immediately get to attack the animal there for free, but again, I have no weapons, and I have a single stone that lets me reroll my attack, so I guess I'd have a slightly better chance of defeating them. And then I can move through here for 2 and there to 3, which would get me a stone along the way and only take a little bit longer. So yeah, let's try doing that. So I'm going to move in here and reveal it. Hopefully it's not some villainous Oh, God. That looks like a warthog. I'm not feeling good about this. So, this tells me which card to draw from the enemy deck, which is 63. And we're going to get to talk about combat, and I think I'm going to be very unhappy about my choice here. So, 63. Wild Boar. Oh, man. You know it's dangerous, but all you can see is this thing on your table with an apple in its mouth. So, let's go over enemy cards for a second. This is life, 1 damage, so if I hit him once, I defeat him and get his reward. 2 meat and 1 pelt. Oh, that's great. The 8 is what I need to roll to hurt him. So there's basically 2 12-sided dice you'll see me rolling in a second. If I can get an 8 or higher on my gray die, I defeat him and get the meat and the pelt. I do 1 damage to him. He hurts me if he rolls an 11 or higher on his red die. So that's actually pretty good for me. He has a very low chance of hitting me. Unfortunately, I don't have a great chance of hitting him. Now, I can discard 1 stone to re-roll his attack. Ah, man, I got it backward. If I had wood, I could re-roll my attack. So if he hurts me, I can use my stone, which I will certainly do because I don't want to take a totally incurable damage this early. But I really hope that I get an 8 or higher so I can kill him. All right, so here we go. Hoping for an 8 or higher on my gray and not too high on the red. I got a 7. Oh, man, I wish I had something to add 1. And I got a 6. Okay, so he didn't hit me. I didn't hit him. So since I did not defeat the enemy, he will immediately run away. They don't stay in your space, really, in the game. So what I do is I check the red die, and he got a 6. And you'll see there's like this little compass thing, and a 6 says that he goes down here. So I can move into his space to attack him immediately. But again, I don't know if it's worth it, because right now I don't have much of a way to actually damage him consistently. Because I've got 2 stamina left. The question is, do I attack him and maybe get lucky? Or do I go here and get stone and also go towards the cave? Either way, it's going to take me 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3 stamina to get to the cave. So, question is, I guess I want the stone because I have this trap I can build for 2 stone. And hey, maybe that'll even help me defeat that guy. So I'm going to use my last 2 stamina to go here. Ooh, I get 2 stone. That's great. So I'm down to 0 stamina. And, yeah, I've got 3 stone. Still a lot of water, but no food. So we'll see what the night card gives me this time. On my 3rd night, I'm still on the basic ones. Oh, great. I got only 1 water I need to spend instead of food. Gain 9 stamina if I'm out of fire, or 7 stamina. So, again, great to be at fire, but I wasn't. Okay, and inspiration. The tribe leader, well, I'm the only player, so that's me, draws 1 project card. That's a new card I can build. Like that. Let's see what I get. Ooh, that's great. Bow drills let me make new fire tokens, so I can, like, kind of spread fire around. For 2 wood, though, so that's quite expensive. But, hey. And then Patrol. Move each monster token. Now, by the way, the boar is not a monster token. They're like actual enemies that chase me. Move each monster token 2 spaces toward the nearest survivor. If there are no normal monster tokens on the map, spawn 1 monster token at the lowest numbered landmark. And this actually affects me this time. The lowest numbered... Oh, crud. The lowest numbered landmark is the landmark right in front of me, which is the cave I need to get to. So we've got token 73. 73 is a wolf pack. So very easy for them to hurt me at 5. Pretty hard for me to hurt them at 8. Oh my god, they have 4 life? Remember, I only do 1 damage each time I attack, so I'd have to like chase them down and beat them over and over again. Wolves are social animals, but social doesn't necessarily mean friendly. Okay, if this enemy has a counter on it, so if I hurt them at least once, I apply -2 to the roll, so they become a little bit weaker. If I defeat him, I get 2 meat and 2 pelts. Oh, Lord. Now, I need to get onto that space to progress the quest, but those guys might destroy me. Yeah, that was not great. Okay. So, what I'm going to try to do, I've got 7 stamina. I'm going to build my trap first. So, 2 stone, cost 2 stone, and it's worth noting these tokens get discarded. So I'm going to go through all the stone before I have to do them again. So this gives me card 95, and it goes next to the board. So I can build traps anytime I have 2 stone for the rest of the game, but I replace it with a new project. In this case, a stone mace, a weapon for 2 stone and 1 wood. That sounds like it would be amazing, but clearly I don't have anywhere near the resources for it yet. So let's see what my trap is. I've never built this before, so I don't know. When you craft this card, place 2 counters on it. After rolling dice in combat, you may spend 1 counter from this card to escape. Oh, that's nice. So, like, if the wolves hurt me, I could use 1 counter on this to cancel the damage and just move away from them. So that might be really helpful. I'm going to put 2 counters on that and be ready to use it if necessary. So that is an item I'm holding now, by the way. So with, we got 3 water, a stone, and that item. So, not dirty water, thankfully. So I have 5 things total right now. Not even close to my maximum of 10. So that used up 1 of my 7 stamina. I've got 6 left. And, So if I move on to the wolves, the good thing is they will move away no matter what. The bad thing is they will probably hurt me, and if I use my trap to run away from them, then I'm not going to be on the space I need to be on anyway. So I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and go on them. So again, they are looking to get 5 or more to hurt me, and I need an 8 or more to hurt them. And if I do hurt them, though, they will become weaker for the rest of the game. So, high gray, low red, please. Okay, so I did get enough to hurt them, but they got enough to hurt me. Now, I do have a stone, and I could throw away the stone to re-roll their red die, but considering that they hit on a 5 or more, it seems like kind of a waste. And I could discard one of the tokens from the trap to escape from them and cancel the whole combat, but I need to get into this cave, so I'm not going to do that either. So, they got an 8, which means they are moving down here. They do take 1 damage on their card, which is going to make them weaker at attacking me for the rest of the game. And if I somehow got 3 more damage on them, they would be dead. And then this really sucks. I have to dial 1 of these to combat damage, and this will never go away. So I only have 1, 2 plus the 3rd. If I ever take 3 damage, I die. I'm down to 5 stamina for moving in there. But I can now spend 1 stamina to explore and see what Explore card 4 gives me. Okay, it says, moss clings to the walls of the cave. A tattered-looking rucksack lies just within the cavern entrance, but the depths of the cave are shrouded in darkness. And I get number 5. Okay, I get another item, the Survival Guide. This tattered old book is crammed full of useful information on how to survive in the wilderness. It's a master key, so this is something that's very similar to Seventh Continent. I think they might have even taken the mechanic from it. When you would resolve a card that has the book icon, you may instead resolve the card 1 number higher. So some of the encounters I might have will have special effects because I have a survival guide. This is an item, so now I have 6 out of my 10 capacity for resources filled up. Okay, now additionally, on my stage 1, it says after a survivor investigates landmark 4, advance to stage 2. So let's see what it says. The cave is damp and filled with strange white mushrooms. As you shuffle deeper into the cave, the mushrooms seem to glow and your head becomes foggy. At last you reach a dead end and find the body of a man with a flowing white beard. You quickly search the corpse and find his ID, Emmanuel Dixon. This is clearly as far as Dixon got in his quest for escape, but his hand rests on something that might let you succeed where he failed. Okay, so I resolve exploration card 50, which will lead you to the end of the game. So now I'm going to find out exactly how I can potentially win this. It says journal upgrade. Someone left behind a detailed journal describing her search for a way out of this valley. The journal mentions she left more notes at her camp. Okay, so there's an upgrade, so again, it's going to just sit next to the board and stay in play. When you find this card, place the 4 exit tokens as indicated on the Valley reference sheet. I'll show you that in a second. And then for 1 stamina, if I'm on the space with the binoculars, that's all the way back at my base camp, I can remove this card and get exploration card number 51. So I'm probably going to need that to win. Sorry, I know it's really zoomed out, but I just want to show you where all these things are going. So I've got these 4 exit tokens. I'm going to shuffle them up. And then the map shows me where they go. So 1's all the way down here. 1's over here in the corner. 1 is up here where the wood is. And 1 is very close to me right over there. And one of these 4 is basically going to be the actual exit off the map. But it's going to be hard for me to figure out which one. So I've got 4 stamina left. And I have a lot of different things I can do here. So I can go over here, but again, I don't really have a way to fight better, just a way to defend better. I can go over here to get water, but I don't need much. I need food. I can go over here and explore this cave, but until I go back and check the binoculars, I might not know if it's actually the right cave or not. But still exploring the cave. Well, maybe I should just head straight back for the fire. Yeah, that seems like it's probably the best option. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to run right by this guy. And they often move 2 spaces a turn. A lot of night cards will make him do that. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll be 3 spaces away. And I'll be close to some food and some other things. So yeah, let's try doing that. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Run right by the wolves. Leave the wild boar behind. Out of stamina. And I'm going to do a night card. Oh, not good. I'm getting close to dying. I do not have any food, so I have to take 1 hunger damage. Now, it's important to note if I had food, I could then spend 1 stamina to heal my hunger. Although then, of course, I would have no food again. I gain 8 stamina. There is a windstorm. I place a wood feature token back on all the wood spaces that I've explored. And I'm going to draw a threat card in a second. So there's a wood over here. And that is unfortunately the only one I've done, so I don't get any other ones back. Let's see what threat card I draw. Well, the bears are out in force. Luckily, again, I don't have any berries, food, or meat. I mean, it's not that lucky, but lucky that he didn't steal anything. So, and no enemies move, so those wolves are way behind. That's definitely good for me, because they'll chase you all game long. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 stamina to move into these guys, see if I can hopefully get somebody easy to beat, get some food. Ooh! I just found some meat straight up. Again, this is not edible until I burn it at the fire, but I'm moving toward the fire, so that's not too big of a problem. Okay, I've got 7 more stamina left. I've got some wood and the cave over here, which makes me think I should probably go there even before I go back to the fire and the binoculars. So yeah, I'm going to go 1, 2, leaves me with 5 stamina left. Now I only get to do one of these for free, and then I'll have to actually spend some stamina to do the other one. So let's do the wood. And you can still build the wooden staff, but I'm just going to use my character's power to automatically gain 1 food, and that way I am set up to not die. And if I can cook that meat I just got, then I'm even better off. And I'm going to go ahead and spend another stamina to eat the meat and heal back my hunger wound to being healthy again. The reason for that, just to explain, one of the red night cards makes you move a combat damage over to combat damage, so it's unhealable. So you want to try to heal your wounds when you can. Okay, bring me down to 3 stamina. I'm going to see which cave this is. 57. 57 says, the cave is an echoing blackness alive with the murmur of bats. No effect, leave 57 in this space. Now this is something you would discover when you played the mission for the first time, but again, I've played it twice already, so I have to remember that cave had murmuring bats, because when I get over to the, back to the fire and to the magnifying glass, it's going to tell me which cave I want to actually be in, and, bats might be the right one. Alright, so I've got 3 stamina left. Let's see if we can get lucky and get big supply of food to go with the water I already have. So that's going to take me 3 since it's 1 and then 2 for the hill. And get... Oh, gosh, another... I've never seen this one before. Let's see what happens. Unidentified berries. You've never seen berries quite like these before. You gather up a handful and take a careful taste. Okay, if you have an item with the words Berry Guide in its title... I don't. I have a survival guide. Shouldn't that help? Resolve exploration card 19. Otherwise, roll a die. On a 1 to 6, gain 1 poison. On a 7 to 12, resolve 19. Well, it seems like 19 is good. So let's see if I can get a 7 to 12. By the way, I will note that poison is an item that is helpful for me. It lets me change the dice in combat. So even if I roll a 1 to 6, it's not the worst. But I really like to see... Oh well, there we go. So I just get 1 poison resource, and then this 13 goes away. So nothing too special or exciting there. But I do have a poison. This can let me add 1 to my own combat dice. Makes it a little bit more likely that I'll be able to defeat something. And that is all my stamina. I'm still not at the fire, but I do have food, so hopefully nothing terrible will happen. Thirst. Spend 1 water. Still got 3 water, so that's not too bad. Light sleep. I gain 7 stamina. Back up from 0. And time passes. Okay, so this is a common thing. I get to replenish one type of resource randomly. I rolled a 10 off the board. So that gives you back all food or fish spaces. So I do have a bunch of fish spaces. And then for modifier, I draw a threat card. So the nice thing is that I'm literally getting a new food token right on me. That's the only one I've gotten, but I'm going to be able to spend a stamina next turn and immediately maybe get another food. But I do have to resolve a threat card. Let's see if it's more bears. They could actually eat something from me now. Food poisoning. Your stomach is racked with pain. In a fever dream, you remember a memory from your childhood. Okay, place one medicine from the supply in the space with the shovel. Oh, cool. I've never seen this before. So there is medicine on the shovel, which is actually right here. So close to where I was going anyway. And it says I suffer 1 sickness damage. That's not great. But it says it could not kill me, so that's good at least. All right, so medicine can heal sickness damage. They've kind of given me a little bit of an out, but man, that's far away, even though it's kind of on my path, so that wasn't great.